Good morning and welcome to another edition of Roadhouse Live. We are live. Today is July 11th. That would be 7/11. 7/11. Bender, how is your 7/11?
I've the only thing I can think of when you say 7-Eleven is a Slurpee, which I can't eat those anymore. Outside of that, good. You barely made it this morning. You were about to be late. You're lucky I'm a good friend and reminded you that it was time to go.
The about to be, and you just said that we're friends. What's going
We
on?
are.
What
What do you
happened?
mean we are?
What
We
happened
are.
from yesterday to today? There's something new in the air. I think we should go to 7-Eleven and commemorate this day
Jesus.
with a Slurpee and some ho-hos, maybe a ding dong or two.
See, that's not going to happen because you can be like, what should I wear to the 7-Eleven? And I'll be like, okay,
See,
fuck this shit. I'm out.
But see, because
I'm out.
we were friends at that point before, you told me that it is not okay for me to ask you what I should wear. I will never do that again. You see, I have
Good.
this code. When somebody says never again, I never do it again. Ever.
Good.
Ever.
Well, now that that's behind us.
Now that that's behind us. So in case you missed it, we were kind of going through some laws that are on the book that our resident lawyer boy, seems to want to defend all of them. It was very entertaining as always. Um, am still, kind of curious why it's illegal to be barefoot in some cities in Texas, but if you pay $5, you can be barefoot. Very interesting law. Also, a little bit confused why you cannot hunt with a ferret in New Hampshire. Even if you leave the ferret in your car, you still may not hunt with said ferret. I don't
There's a lot of
understand.
those like dumb laws that were written, you know. In fact, I think there's a book called like Dumb Laws. I think there's actually a website for it. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out there that was written many, many years ago that like literally makes absolute like it's not like there was one that I saw that it's like it's not okay to sleep in the same bed with a zebra unless it's in an enclosed barn, like just ridiculous shit that makes no sense. Can't walk down the street with an elephant on a leash on a Tuesday because apparently somebody did it once.
Somebody did it
Like,
once.
yeah,
Yeah. Or the one that while it is not illegal, well, it's not illegal to not have a windshield on a car in Texas. You must still have windshield wipers.
yeah. Did you see the glasses that I sent?
I did.
Posted a picture of.
I did. I
I think
did.
that would get around that.
I think there's a loophole. I think
I think there's a
you
loophole.
I think we should test this. Drive
Yeah.
drive up and down the
All my
I
vehicles have windshields, so someone else
put
is going
you
to have to try it.
on 35 and you can cruise up and down. Or if you are riding a horse at night in Texas, you must have tail lights on said horse.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Does it
that
though?
makes sense. Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it? Does it?
Got
I
to
don't know.
got to protect the yourself and the horse. Yeah, sure.
But
Um,
if they have headlights, wouldn't they
okay,
know that?
the shit's dumb.
Look, it's dumb, but so is what's going around in the market right now. As far as dumb, this is at least
What?
entertaining. Overnight, CPI for Germany came in hot. Nobody seems to give a fuck. Um, we get CPI print tomorrow. A lot of the data right now is really non-existent. We're not getting a lot of data. We are getting a lot of Fed speakers. Bullard is set to fire off here in the next few minutes, which Bullard usually has some type of an impact on the market. So that's in a nutshell. That's where we are. Everybody's waiting for the big piece on CPI. We effectively, to my eye, still have like this little double toppy thingy on the daily on the ES. We've come up, we kind of spilled down a little bit overnight, then we came up and we're retesting yesterday's highs, and so we're right about there for a potential breakout, ultimate breakdown. In a lot of ways on this little consolidation, this little back and forth. Flow continues to be pretty strong in the same names that we were going over yesterday. They're really, while there are bearish bets, we are walking into ER season, especially banks. I believe on Thursday, Friday. The other piece of news that I would be really, really peeled for, as far as getting little updates and pieces like that, is Amazon Prime Day. Personally, I put myself out on a limb and said that it will be the worst Amazon Prime Day in the history of all Amazon Prime Days. We shall see, but it's like something
I
inside of
could see it.
says it's not going to be good. But then after that, the question becomes, what type of fallout that does that have for retailers and the overall view on what the consumer gives a shit about? I think everybody bought their little, essential oil diffuser and potpourri and fire stick, and I think everybody's solid on all that there. Maybe you need some Tupperware. Do you need some Tupperware?
Yeah,
Do you, do you
actually,
need, do you need a 35th TV for your home?
not not this time, but I bought a whole bunch of stuff yesterday because we're buying another. We're buying a horse trailer with a living quarters for these races, and I had a toy hauler, fifth wheel toy hauler. We sold that, so I sold all the stuff that goes along with it, or got rid of it, and now we're buying another camper trailer, and we're like, as I told you, we're going to a race. We're leaving tomorrow, and so my wife was like, we're picking the trailer up today. My wife's like, we need to get all the stuff, right? Like, we're going to be gone for 4 days. We need to make sure we got the power cord and hoses and all that stuff. So I had to order a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. And I was like, it seems like every time I need a bunch of stuff, it happens right before or right after Prime Day, and I miss out on a bunch of deals.
Yeah, and I'm curious.
It just doesn't line up for me.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know that there's anything that I really need to buy, and anything that I really need to buy, odds are it's not going to be on the Amazon. And I say that it's not going to be what I probably want to buy is not going to be on sale on the Amazon, and the stuff that's on the Amazon that's on sale is usually like junk.
No, it's not. There's lots of good stuff. Honestly, it's a good time to like start shopping, whether it's birthdays or holiday type stuff. It's a good time to pick up some shit. I mean, they do. There's some, you can find some good deals.
Vendors gonna
there's
go
some
ahead
good
and try to
stuff.
pump. You're gonna try to help.
Yeah, but I not saying that my little contribution isn't going to help their Prime Day numbers, but it is worth. I do the shopping on the Amazon on Prime Day. I log in and see what they got, and usually I find a couple things at least.
Have you logged in? It started at 3 a.m. Eastern.
No, I'm not that. I don't do this whole Black Friday get up early. I don't coupon clip. No.
Okay.
I'm not going to set the alarm, but I'll get out there and kind of check on it. Anyway.
All right. Well, there we go. So look, it's like there's not a whole lot really pinging around. Like I said, it's like the inflation picture, I think, is becoming more and more clear how the world banks believe that it's going to be sticky, that rates need to stay stable to higher. Nothing has changed along that narrative. The only thing that as market participants that we have to continue to kind of look in and watch for and try to anticipate is what is and is not priced in. What is and is not priced in. So it appears that rates higher for longer are priced in. Either that or this is the most stubborn motherfucker of a market we've ever seen. So it looks like anything rate related is priced in. I'm not sure if we get an uptick or a higher reading in inflation, if that necessarily is priced in. But the idea that rates remaining higher for longer appear to be that way. We continue to hear about the quote unquote lag effect. There's a lag effect. Bender, what do you think of when somebody says there's a lag effect?
Golf. Gotta lag the club.
All right. Well, there you go. There you go. So that's what we have. As the markets continue to matriculate, that was a word of the day yesterday. We are, we continue to watch flow, continue to look at these charts. But I think you're going to post this chart, and you're going to be like, well, it's kind of the same as yesterday, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit different. But
Don't
it's
put
like,
words in my mouth.
but I said possibly, possibly. I would never try to put anything in your mouth.
Okay.
By the way,
moving on. Yeah, good.
I would
Good.
we can hold firm that will never happen. So yeah, walk us through. Show us what you got.
I'm gonna have to put more rules on this quote friendship.
You're the one who said we were friends today. I had given up on such yesterday. I was just like, I guess this is done.
Okay, well, here is a 15-minute chart. I'm actually going to go out to the 60-minute real quick, so you can see this 60-minute fair value gap top, where that comes from. You've also got the top of a 15-minute fair value gap just above, and the bottom of that shaded box actually is the top of a 15-minute fair value gap. So I shaded this whole area because it's only about 5 handles in here, but this is kind of the area in my mind that, if we push up into the top of this and can get through it, that pop through it should be good for another 12, 15 points or so up to the top of that, these highs right here, 44, 76, 25. That's also the midpoint of that parallel channel right up in there. So if we get through, say, 44, 64 half, it likely will make that move to come up and take these highs. As long as it's not one of those, like, pop it by a tick or two and then it pulls back down. But if it gets through that, just keep in mind that we haven't traded back into this since it was formed, right? So it's very possible that, that is kind of the objective, and then it comes in to fill that in and then comes back down. So the other thing I want to point out is that, as you can see here, London session highs and lows took out the Asia session highs and lows, which sets us up for a potential seek and destroy type day. I think that that is a strong possibility that we get that kind of price action. Okay, so you see the shaded box, the bottom of that shaded box, like I said, being that 15-minute, top of that 15-minute fair value gap, where you can see right here where I drew that from. This bottom of that candle's close, marking the top of the 15-minute fair value gap of this candle that my cursor's on right now. As far as what we've got below, London session low, 15 handles below current levels. You can kind of see, if I zoom this in, let's go to a 5-minute here. You can kind of see that how on the way up, this candle right here creates a fair value gap. Bodies of these candles using that as support makes another leg higher. You've got a little 5-minute fair value gap in here that's being used as support, right? Makes another leg higher. Then you've got this candle currently holding as support right here on these 5-minute candles. So when I see that, then it's like, okay, those fair value gaps were backfilled and then held as support, right? The only one that remains open that I see in here is right here. Let me get that right on that candle. Is right there, 44.52. So at this point, if we get below 44.52 and can't quickly reclaim it, right? Then that sets up. Okay, now we're likely going to take out, if it gets through that, we're likely going to take out that 44.47 half right in here. And then the London session low, 44.39. And then below that, I have, you got this little swing low down here all the way down at 44.24. I mean, you can see some stuff along the way, but zooming back out again, it's like really the biggest, I think, source of liquidity is down here. That 44.11.25. It was double bottom, swing low. That's kind of where the big area sits. That's where the damage would be done. Would be right in that area. So that's kind of what I've got coming into the day. Go back to a 5-minute here. Watching early that 44.52.25, and then see what we do with 47.5 if it makes it down here. And again, gets through that London session high into this shaded box. I'd be watching this 60-minute fair value gap top right there, that 44.60, and then 64.5. And like I said, if it gets through there, may come up here and test 76. I think that's about it.
Yeah, very good. The only other chart that I want to mention before we move on is the dollar. The dollar has taken a whack and a pretty good smack to the head and neck, and it looks like it's trying to inch higher and through here. I think the dollar, not because it's been of any importance lately, but basically to where it is sitting on the daily, and the price action in and around it's sitting on the daily. So moving forward, especially when we come into CPI and then rate decision, that kind of stuff, which again, right around the corner, that starts becoming a little bit more important in watching metals as far as how metals are reacting. I think any more move higher here on the dollar intraday, and we're going to see some type of wreckage take place in both gold and silver. Something to keep in mind as we're watching kind of how things are setting up here a little bit. But so that was you over there, Mr. Binda. Now, who do we have? Do we have Sonny?
He was on, but it doesn't look like he's on at the moment.
Stonkington, paging Stonkington.
All right, I'm here.
There we go.
Let's go. Let's get some sharing going on. And yeah, let's do it. Trying to wake up.
And Hell's Sun is back, so he can go after Stonkington.
Back to the bench, Stonkington. Hi, son. How are you?
That was cruel, man. He's gonna disinvite you. You're not invited anymore.
Hey, that just means I kept my cleanup spot. Compliment continues.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll say that's tasty too. Nothing like a good cleanup over there.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I'll make this quick, Stonk, so you never feel it that I was here. All right, upgrades: JPM, Triple M, PCOR, PCOR, and Zillow Group got an upgrade. Yeah, price target raised to 62. So for Zillow, keep an eye on Redfin, RDFN. I think that had some flow last week. I can't remember if it was or bearish on that. Downgrades.
They were leaning bullish on Redfin.
Yeah, I think because of the Zillow, it may do some. The housing market has been getting an upgrade. The builders were getting an upgrade, so and not have the sellers get an upgrade. The downgrade side, ASR, AA, Tech. Tech had some flow yesterday, bullish flow come in yesterday. TM, Toyota Motors, VRSN, I think VRSN may be a buyer name, and Zion. The banks have been mixed. A couple of them got an upgrade, but a bunch of them, I think the regionals are down quite a few. On the news side, so Apple has teamed up with Tencent WeChat to launch an online store, expanding their presence. Meta is looking to bring branded content tools to Threads, basically for the advertisers to get involved with paid promotions and also influencers to have paid partnerships with different brand names like that. Hasn't picked up yet. They just announced it. I'm sure they're going to start putting out some numbers, or they have more advertising on Twitter coming up. That's going to be the battleground between the two. Because if you remember, the Twitter CEO comes from marketing background, and that was the reason she was brought on. Get more paid advertisers come to Twitter. Boeing put out their numbers. They delivered 50 planes in May, way behind the delivery.
You said behind their
manufacture-
deliveries,
Yeah,
but they're
behind
holding
Airbus on
they're
delivery.
holding a nice little flag here, pre-market.
Yeah, they got a pop, but they're trying to like compare it with Airbus. How Airbus is leaps ahead in the Paris Air Show, the big order that
Got
Boeing
it.
was supposed to get. They didn't get it. They're still planning to announce a few more orders that they may have received air show. Keeping an eye on the news, pop, things like that. The Chinese stocks moved up. They're betting on the Chinese authorities are done with tech, fighting them, especially JD. They're putting in more money into the property sector. So if you look at two names like Futu, FUTU, and BEKE, they're in the real estate sector for China. They're extending their loans, cutting interest rate for the building sector. I have.
All right. Stonkington, would you care to
Okay.
join us?
I'm here. Is it time now? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's see. We could start with a possible smash burger. I know there's somebody out there who's like, what? Why are they always talking about burgers? So Smash Day is going to be a failed breakout day, and it is in play on the IWM. This is the only one that we have for today because we closed yesterday above the prior day's high, so it would be a setup to the downside. If we broke yesterday's low, which would be a heck of a move, then it would be a short setup with a stop at yesterday's high as a failed breakout setup. So here, some examples: closed above the prior day's high, short the low, nice one. Let's see, closed above the prior day's high, short the low, nice one. So that's kind of the idea behind the potential downside smash day on the IWM. So if we take a look, then we would want to jump over to the Russell. Russell, interesting spot here where it has failed 1, 2. We'll see. Had some struggles up in there. Kind of tried to pop through. So, if we pop and hold this 1920 area, maybe we can really get going. Yesterday was a massive move on the Russell, so we'll kind of see. I'd be a little bit surprised if they ran it like that again. That'd be kind of wild. So if we pop this, then next we've got this old a longer term fair value gap above. Below, we definitely left some stuff behind on the run yesterday. So we've got some of these fair value gaps below that are pretty clear. We've got our new week opening gap down here. So first downside target, if we lost and couldn't hold this 1910.30, we've got a downside target here at 1897.50, and then the next target would be, if we lost that, we'd be looking for the new week opening gap below. So just going to kind of keep an eye. I mean, small caps have been getting flow, been getting some good runs over there. So we'll just kind of keep an eye and see what we get. Let's see if we jump over to the NASDAQ. Let's see. All right, so this trend line I was kind of like messing with a little bit, that we're going right up against. It was like we held it as support. I'm looking at this one here. We held it as support, and then now it's kind of been working as resistance in through here. So we'll see, if we're going to just continue to reject as we ride up this trend line. Oops. So then let's see if we zoom in here a little bit. We've got new week opening gap below, chopped around in there a lot last night. And then above, we've got this fair value gap with room upside target would be 292 up here. Let's see. On the 4 hour, I have the bottom of this green candle marked as a potential order block. I'd be watching for a reaction to this line, 270, 275, just basically an up close candle, the last up close candle before an aggressive push down. So we'll see if this green candle, if we trade up into it, if we have because basically Mr. T would be saying this was a bear that wanted to get a better price before a big push down. So that's kind of what I would be watching there on that candle. So upside targets, this would be if we pop this bottom of this fair value gap, this would be the first thing I'll be looking at for upside. For downside, I'll be watching the reaction to this area here. You can see this line's been important for a while, 184.75. And then if we lose that, we'd be looking towards yesterday's lows that we were bouncing off a bit. So it's kind of what I got on the NASDAQ. I mean, we talked a little bit yesterday. Some big techs looking a little bit tired up here. It's like my need to consolidate, see what we get. Let's jump into some individual tickers. Let's see. Today was going to be so one thing I've been putting out on Twitter when their daily inside bar scan doesn't have anything that I like to trade, then I run the 4 hour inside bar scan, which was Netflix and Tesla were on the list. So this was, it looks like we're drifting just below what I wanted to use as the put trigger, which was going to be this 439.65 right here. So we can see this has been an important level, repeat bounces, repeat reactions. So if we push down, then we're kind of in this like rising channel here. If we break below, let's see, we probably, if you wanted to have like a new aggressive put trigger, could probably be something like this. So basically I would look for this reaction here and then look for a pop back above this one for a long. So yeah, I'd be looking, I guess this would basically just be, use a nice round number, 437. And then below that, we'd be watching this dark pool, 433.95. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for here on Netflix. See if we get any momentum, if we're definitely going to lose that trend line. And then Tesla was on the 4 hour inside bar scan at the end of the day yesterday. Kind of got this maybe like a descending megaphone type setup. These are very conservative, mainly just because I kind of want to keep an eye on it, see how it reacts. We saw some interesting flow, some interesting multi-leg type stuff. So above, I'll be looking at 270, 275, and then below 264.65. If you wanted to be really aggressive, you could probably do something like this and just use those as triggers. If you wanted to, jump in a little bit earlier, but just going to kind of see what we get flow as. So you could watch 271.90 and below 267.65. Just going to kind of keep an eye out, see what we get, and I believe that's all I got for today.
All right, very good. So your CRM finally got its pop. There were some big lines that came in yesterday, and then it got its pop. So good looking out on that one. Hopefully you got that bang on that thing because you've been stalking it for a minute.
Yeah, this is like, I had a couple of these recently where I was like a little early on the pop. We had one on coin and then it popped the next week. We had the CRM. So yeah, nice move.
Yeah, CRM had news. I just raising the product prices by 9%.
Yeah, it's like moves like that are going to be really, really interesting. Like really, really interesting as far as how much pricing power some of these companies actually have is moving forward. I think Disney's kind of feeling that a little bit. We'll see how the streamers kind of play out with that a little bit. Very interesting time for sure. All right, buddy, got anything else?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
So it sounds as if, in looking at at least IWM, you would lean short. Is that correct? And
yeah.
And with the rest of it looks a little bit sloppy. I think the interesting chart was the one that you put up on Tesla. It looks like it kind of wants to gravitate in a very, whatever way, a little bit further down to the bottom of that falling. I don't even know what we want to call that. That like it wants to come down and touch the bottom of that, which I believe would give it gap fill also on the daily. If it were to come down and do that, it seems like that's where it's trying to go. Could be wrong. Could be
Yeah,
wrong.
it doesn't have much left down there
Yeah.
in terms of gap. So we almost filled it the other day, but that's about it that's left.
So I think Tesla for a rebound is going to be on watch for me, but I need it to splice into that level, which I was going to pick it up late last week, but didn't. So yeah, very good. Well, thank you, Stonkington. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sonny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bender. Do you guys have anything else?
Nothing.
No, I don't think so.
Bender says he doesn't think so. So, I'm going to continue to watch the dollar. I think the dollar actually could be impactful, especially where it is up against its lows on the daily. We'll see what the type of overall reaction is with flow and the rest of the market. Thanks, guys. I don't have anything else. We have about 7 minutes until open. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you in a few.
See ya.